Today we're going to look at sideways parabolas. So this is section 7.2, and we'll title it Parabolas. Today we'll be talking about horizontal parabolas. And we'll compare it with vertical. Now for a vertical parabola, the equation is y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Notice that the x value of the vertex and the x, they're like together, and the y and the k, that tells you the vertical translation, they're on the outsides. So the x and the y's are on the outsides, or I'm sorry, the y values are on the outside and the x values are on the inside. Well, when we have a horizontal parabola, the equation we are going to use is x is equal to a times y minus k squared plus h. So notice the y and the k are grouped together, and the x and the h are on the outsides. Similar with this. Okay, so just notice that. When the a value is positive, parabola opens up. When a is negative, it opens down. When the a value here is positive, it opens to the right. And when the a value is less than 0, it opens to the left for horizontal. Now the vertex for both is still h comma k. The focus it's still 1 over 4a units away. So for the vertical, we're going up 1 over 4a. And for the horizontal, we're going to the right 1 over 4a. So if we're going to the right, we would be adding that value to h. The parabola always opens around the focus. It kind of wraps it up. And then for our directrix, would be 1 over 4a units below. And that was y equals because it's a horizontal line. But for a directrix, directrix would be over here for a horizontal parabola, and the equation for that line would be x is equal to k minus, if it's to the left, you're changing the x coordinate, so it's going to be h minus 1 over 4a. And the length of the LR stays 1 over the absolute value of a units. All right, so I had 3 examples I wanted to go over today. Let's take a look at this one. It says x is equal to 1/3 times y plus 4 squared plus 5. Now first we are going to look at the vertex. Remember, the x values are grouped together, so it's going to be 5, and then we always go by the opposite inside here, so that would be 5, negative 4. For the coordinates of the focus, remember it's going to be the x value plus 1 over 4a. And if you do the math here, that would give us 23/4. And for the directrix, we would get x is equal to the h value minus 1 over 4a, which comes out to 17/4. The length of the LR is going to be 1 over the absolute value of 1/3 units, which is just 3 units. And as far as what this graph would look like, if I have -4's right here, the a value is positive, so it opens up to the right. The focus would be 23/4, so 5 would be 20 over 4, so this is a little bit more than 5. The directrix would be a little bit behind 5. And that's what the graph would look like. For our second example, it says x is equal to 1/4 times y minus 2 squared minus 3. So our vertex would be -3, 2. Go by the opposite of what's on the inside here. Remember, it's y minus k, so if it's y minus 2, k is 2. Our focus would be -3 plus 1 over 4a, 2, which is -2, 2. Our directrix is vertical because our parabola would open out to the side. Because a is positive, we're opening up to the right. So our directrix would have to be x equal, because that's a vertical line. And x would equal -3 minus 1 over 4a, which is -4. And then for the length of the LR, that's going to be 1 over the absolute value of 1/4, which is just 4 units. I'll do one more example. If it was x is equal to -1/3 times y plus 4 squared plus 5, our vertex would be 5, -4. Our focus would be 5 plus 1 over 4a, -4. The equation of our directrix would be x is equal to, it's going to be 5 minus 1 over 4a, and if you simplify these, the focus would come out to be 17/4, -4. The directrix would come out to be 23 over 4. The length of the LR, how wide it is, would be 1 over the absolute value of -1/3, or 3 units. The graph would look something like this. It's going to open up to the left. The directrix would be 23 over 4, so that's a little bit more than 5. The focus would be 17 over 4, that's a little less than 5. And one other thing I just wanted to find too is are the x and y intercepts. So the x-intercept looks like it's just going to be one value. So if we put y equals 0 in here, we'd get x is equal to negative 1/3, 0 plus 4 squared plus 5. 16 times negative 1/3 is negative 16/3 plus 5, and the x-intercept would be negative 1/3. So I totally didn't draw this right. Negative 1/3 is like over here. To get the y-intercept, we let the x equal 0. So we're going to have 0 is equal to negative 1/3 times y plus 4 squared plus 5. Bring the 5 on the other side. Multiply by negative 3. Take the square root. And that would turn into absolute value. And you get y is equal to negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 15, which is, square root of 15 is a little bit more than 3. So negative 4 plus a little bit more than 3 is a really small negative number. That would be right there. And negative 4 minus a little bit more than 3 would be like negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and change. So that's about what the graph looks like. All right, for homework, what I would like you to do is on page 419 and 420, I would like you to please do numbers 15, 22, 24, 29, and then on practice 7.2, I would like you to please do numbers 3 and 6. All right, good luck. Talk to you soon.